Welcome, everyone, to the 10th annual San Jose Poetry Festival. And today we have for you in this program, Yuki Teikei Haiku Society. First, a land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that Poetry Center San Jose and the city of San Jose exist on the unceded land of the Muwekma We recognize that the Muwekma people are alive and flourishing members of the community today and recognize their right to this land, which they have stewarded.
Got my name. Okay.
It looks to me as though Robert has disappeared.
Robert, we lost Robert. He was just talking and then he disappeared.
Well, let me carry on then. Let's see. And I'll let him come back in with the land recognition whenever he can rejoin. And that's why he made the us three co-hosts. Okay, so we could keep going. Anybody got the Yuki Teikei land recognition easily available? I can read it.
No.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. No, I have it somewhere, but it's not available right now. So he will be back with it. For everybody who is here, we have three readers tonight. Roger Abe, Kathy Goldbach, and I'm Linda Papanicolaou. We are three. Okay, we sort of kept the mic going and you disappeared in the middle of land recognition, so take it back.
I'll take it back from there. Sorry, folks. I had a power outage here. We acknowledge that the members of the San Jose community and residents of California and the United States continue to benefit from the use and occupation of indigenous land. We acknowledge that this land has come under the control of various entities through violence and dishonesty, and we recognize the history and legacy of colonialism that continue to negatively impact indigenous peoples, their traditional territories, practices, sovereignty, languages, lifeways, and well-being to this day. Now, I'd like to welcome you to the 10th annual San Jose Poetry Festival program here today. We want to thank you for supporting and participating in tonight's event. And we are honored to bring our poets into your homes and into some of our favorite spaces. Please visit pcsj.org to stay up to date on what we have to offer throughout each and every week. Consider following us on social media. We have links that will be shared in the chat on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We will also share Yuki Teikei Haiku Society's site as well in the chat. Today's presentation, Threads of Memory, Haiku, Haibun, and Haiga by members of the Yuki Teikei Haiku Society. We will also have a little bit of hands-on activity during this program. Today's guests are Linda Papanicolaou, Roger Abbott, and Kathy Goldbach. Now, a little bit about the Yuki Teikei Haiku Society. They were founded in San Jose, California here in 1975 by Mr. Kiyoshi Tokutomi and Mrs. Kiyoko Tokutomi. The purpose of the founders was to nourish and foster the art of writing haiku in English using the traditional guidelines developed by haiku poets in Japan. As explained by Mrs. Tokutomi in Japanese, yu means having, ki means season, te means formal, and ke means pattern. Therefore, in the founder's view, Yuki Teikei Haiku had a season word and utilized three-line structure with the 575 pattern of syllables. The Society encourages the study of haiku in this form and others that have evolved in English over the years. Under the leadership of Mr. and Mrs. Tokutomi, the Yuki Teikei Haiku Society took root in San Jose and presently has grown to an international organization over hundreds of poets. And now a little bit about our luminary guests here. Linda Papanicolo is an art historian and retired art teacher in Palo Alto. She began writing haiku in 1998 with the World Haiku Club on Yahoo Groups. For 15 years, she edited Haiga Online and has since been involved with other online and print publications. Her haiku, haiga, renku, and other short form poems have appeared in online and print journals and have won awards. She has special interests in combining poetry with images in handcrafted artist books. A member of the Yuki Teikei Haiku Society since 2005, she began serving as president in 2022. She now continues to live, in Palo Alto. Roger Abe, a retired San Jose park ranger who enjoys interpretation of nature, has been active with the Yuki Teikei Haiku Society for over 30 years. He has served as Yuki Teikei president and continues to work as a dojin in the society. Roger lives in Morgan Hill. And Kathy Goldbach, her haiku comes from her attraction to words and to music, from jump rope rhymes and piano lessons in Peoria, Illinois, to Shakespeare tucked between nursing classes in Iowa City, to Goodnight Moon and Old Joe Clark with her children, to a music degree and poetry at San Jose State in the 1980s, to a new language and a Bach choir in Germany in the 90s, to piano teaching and poetry writing for the past 25 years. For the last 6 years, she has found haiku's sturdy words and subtle music to be her best way to capture life's aha moments. Now, please give it up for Linda.
Okay. All right, so welcome everybody, and thank you, Robert. I would say, just to adding, if you sort of added up what Robert said about the history of Yuki Teikei, next year we are celebrating our 50th anniversary. And so that part of that is why we chose the title Threads of Memory, because we are a club that we're growing, and we are delighted to have many new members spread around the country, but we also love to keep in touch with our roots. And the very title, Threads of Memory, Patricia Mackmiller and I adapted it from a blog that one of our recently deceased important members, June Hymas, used as the title for her blog, The Memory Thread. And so because of that, rather than just simply read my own poetry, which I have a few of them, but not too many, what I thought I would do is bring some poems by the people who were our founders, the Tokutomis, and also some other important people who are no longer with us. Since Robert mentioned the Tokutomis, I happened to have 3 from them, and I will read them. And if a poem isn't on the screen, I will read it twice, because that way it will really sink into your brain. Not everybody reads twice, but I do. 2 from Kiyoko. Chemotherapy in a comfortable chair. 2 hours of winter. Chemotherapy in a comfortable chair. 2 hours of winter. Crickets. Their competition is exceptional tonight. Yeah. Crickets. Their competition is exceptional tonight. And one from Kiyoshi that I have always found very haunting. Spring melancholy. I try to toss a pebble to the other shore. Spring melancholy, I try to toss a pebble to the other shore. A third one, Jerry Ball, who was a very important person for us also. Under the grayest clouds, the sound of pouring rain on a silk umbrella. Under the grayest clouds, the sound of pouring rain on a silk umbrella. For these choice of poets have been particularly important for me in finding my own poetic voice. I'll read three of mine. Two are simple haiku and one is a haibun. The two haiku that I chose are, as Robert mentions, we are, in one hand, we love to observe tradition, and that includes, well, what you may have learned in your school classes by many school teachers, that haiku is a 3-line, 17-syllable, well, nature poem. Actually, we honor that 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. We honor it in the Tokutomi contest, but in fact, our members write in a multitude of styles, including some very modern. So I brought one of mine that is a 5/7/5 poem, and then one that is a very minimalist poem. The 5/7/5. Morning solitude. On a rippling mountain stream, 2 fly fishermen. Morning solitude on a rippling mountain stream, 2 fly fishermen. This one I submitted this to the 2014 Tokutomi contest and was pretty amazed that I got first prize on that. As president now, I'm not allowed to submit to the contest, but I love that contest. Either at our website, if you're interested, either at your website or on our Facebook page, you will find information about how to do it. Non-members are invited to submit. So please think about it if you'd like to try. My very minimalist haiku, 4 words, actually 4 syllables. Here, then not, newt. Here, then not, newt. And then I think, okay, I have a haibun. We're bringing a mixture of forms, not just haiku tonight, because I thought from the Poetry Center of San Jose meetings that I've been in, I know that a lot of you write free verse, and we do have a form. If haiku itself is maybe a bridge that is a little bit too far for your current style, we also have a form called Haibun, which begins with prose and then includes a haiku sort of linked to or embedded in the prose. And you'll hear more from Kathy and Roger, but I have one here. It's called Mother's Kitchen. Her rubber gloves plunge into the hot suds. First the glasses, rim down, then knives, forks, spoons, plates begin to pile up on the dish rack, rivulets of fresh water shimmering down the drain. Dry these, she says, before I can escape outside. Sunny windowsill, a fistful of Queen Anne's lace in tinted water. Sunny windowsill, a fistful of Queen Anne's lace in tinted water. And then one more thing, just, and I'll do this fairly quickly because I have a feeling that thanks to the initial power loss, we may be running a bit behind, and I want to make sure that we have plenty of time for writing. I'm going to pull up some haiga. Let's see. Haiga are when you include an image along with a haiku, and I have some haiga for 2 very important members. These are collaborative. In other words, teamwork, and you can also do teamwork with haiku. One of these authors is Patricia Mackmiller. Oh, let me double back to Patricia's. Patricia is our leading Tokutomi dojin. So I have, this is a small one from my personal collection. It's about a 3x5. I think you can see it's on stiff watercolor paper. but it's in ink brush painting style. Calligraphy is by a friend of hers, Martha Dolan, but the poem is Patricia's. And now the cat comes in moonlight, his shadow darker than himself. Traditionally, haiga is a poem, a haiku, in calligraphy, united to a traditional Japanese ink brush painting. But these days we've branched out. Now, one more I have of Patricia's because she's a very accomplished ink brush painter. This one is what we'd call a tanrenga, the haiku and then a cap. Patricia and June Hopper Hymas, another very important member who we're mourning because she died recently. So we have the base poem by Patricia and the capping poem by June. And notice that the poems do not tell you or explain what the image is. They link on mood. In the morning light, New Year's confetti turns to gold. Coming towards us, the voices of children. These days, because of the prevalence of digital cameras and apps that you can include text, a lot of people love to do a slightly different form of modern haiga called photo haiku. And we have this one by Patricia and June again. I chose this one. I thought everybody would enjoy it because it is Markham House in Kelly Park. The path dissolves, yet suddenly there's a new one. First dream of the year. Under fresh fallen snow, great white birds are sleeping. So those are some of the possibilities, and I'll conclude with just two of mine because I have an iPad and a lot of apps that I love, and I like to use digital imagery. I do some ink brush, but I also like digital imagery on mine. This was a totally digital creation of something seen at Town and Country Center in Palo Alto. Sidewalk cafe, a man and his dog at a table for two. As only grandma tells it, stone soup. So that is my contribution to the reading. And I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to stop, let me get up the stop share, okay? And I turn it over to our next reader, Kathy.
Thank you. I'm also going to read my haiku twice so that you can also hear them a little better and get them to soak into you a little more. I spent my childhood and college years on the prairies of Illinois and Iowa. Secret hiding place under the porch. Smell of mint. Secret hiding place under the porch. Smell of mint. The trick of breaking into equal halves. Popsicle. The trick of breaking into equal halves. Popsicle. Kool-Aid fingers and a stack of Archie comics. Deep tree shade. Kool-Aid fingers and a stack of Archie comics. Deep tree shade. The crisp plaid of a new school dress. Ripe apple. The crisp plaid of a new school dress. Ripe apple. First ride to a dance in my boyfriend's old blue Ford. Smell of gardenia. First ride to a dance in my boyfriend's old blue Ford. Smell of gardenia. When I was 22, I got in a car with two other friends and we drove to the wonders of California and the Pacific coast. Finger reckoning the map's wide open spaces. Road trip. Finger reckoning the map's wide open spaces. road trip. Last bird calls from the sand dunes, early sunset. Last bird calls from the sand dunes, early sunset. Strings of pelicans stitch the shifting sea to the galaxy. Strings of pelicans stitch the shifting sea to the galaxy. Now I live in the densely populated Santa Clara Valley, like we all do, near the intersection of two major freeways and two shopping centers. But I also live under a bird flyway and 2 blocks from a creek that flows from the Santa Cruz Mountains into San Francisco Bay. Whenever I want to, I can go into my backyard and look up, and I am still part of that natural world. Shaking the crumbs from the holiday tablecloth. First morning. Shaking the crumbs from the holiday tablecloth. First morning. Wolf moon. Chipping mud from my boots. Wolf moon. Chipping mud from my boots. Wolf moon. The lingering smell of fresh baked bread. Wolf moon. The lingering smell of fresh baked bread. Winter clarity, seeing through trees to the other side. Winter clarity, seeing through trees to the other side. A titmouse steals a last seed. Winter dusk. A titmouse steals a last seed. Winter dusk. Sounding out the syllable count. Mockingbird. Sounding out the syllable count. Mockingbird. Salamanders underwater. Spring fever. Salamanders underwater. Spring fever. June drop apples. The poems we never wrote. June drop apples. The poems we never wrote. Summer solstice. She self-clips a new buzz haircut. Summer solstice. She self-clips a new buzz haircut. Sandal tan and scuffed nail polish. Backyard summer. Sandal tan and scuffed nail polish. Backyard summer. Snipping green beans into equal pieces. Summer schedule. Snipping green beans into equal pieces. Summer schedule. Sunflower petals uncurl one by one. Anniversary. Sunflower petals uncurl one by one. Anniversary. Apples ripen. The bounty of a family tree. Apples ripen. The bounty of a family tree. Apples fall. Our shared peculiarities. Apples fall. Our shared peculiarities. School pickup time. The leftovers play tag. School pickup time. The leftovers play tag. The sturdy heft of binoculars. First bird count day. The sturdy heft of binoculars. First bird count day. Crisp morning. The redwood leans to the southern sun. Crisp morning. The redwood leans to the southern sun. Autumn woods, the dark places, and the sudden light. autumn woods, the dark places, and the sudden light. Holiday gatherings, the comfortable silence of sisters. Holiday gatherings, the comfortable silence of sisters. First light through bare trees, a dark year ends. First light through bare trees, a dark year ends. Now, I would like to end with a short haibun. This is the prose part, and then followed by the short haiku. It's called Flight. I make myself sit down and at least play scales. At first, my fingers stumble. The note sequence, the fingering. I go through each key, moving up by half steps. My arms relax as the tempo takes over. My hands know these patterns on their own. They inform my blood vessels, my muscles, my brain, my heart. Daybreak. A mockingbird leaves for the sky. Thank you.
Thank you. Roger, over to you.
Okay, I'm reading to Haibun because all of us poets, there's a lot of storyteller in us, and haiku are great, but you can't tell a story with them. So Haibun allow you a little more freedom with that. So, and my haiku, I don't like reading them twice, but I'll read them in a little different way. So the first one is called First Grade Roger. My mom pinned a tag in my chest with my name on it, Roger, and I got on the bus. It was 1964. The Beatles came to America. Cassius Clay became Muhammad Ali, and I was riding a noisy yellow bus to school for kindergarten. Milk and graham crackers was our daily snack, and we brought our own mats to lie down on for nap time. The next year in first grade, we were expected to know how to get along with each other and how to learn. Things got started with roll call. Since my name was ABE, I expected to be called first. Teacher, Mrs. Colson, said, Roger. That got my attention. Then Abby and I said, here, but I wasn't alone. There was another Roger, and he was ABBEY before me. The whole class was entertained for a moment, and then order was restored and school went on. But I was still dazed. Another Roger, and almost the same last name. What else did we have in common? Who was he? Who was I? First day of school. First day of school, the wind is blowing. First day of school, the wind is blowing from somewhere else. Slowly, I found things out. He was he, I was me. I had black hair, he was blonde. He was smaller, quieter, and sneakier. He quickly found an open window in the classroom and out he went. Mrs. Colson asked, Roger, where is Roger? I said, I'm here. He went out the window, and I and several others pointed to the open window. We did not become friends, Roger and I. We got in a couple of fights. We went to see the principal together, but I was I and he was he. I wonder what became of him. He transferred or moved. In second grade, I was the only Roger. The Beatles are singing. The Beatles are singing, I want to hold your hand. The Beatles are singing, I want to hold your hand, and girls are screaming. Okay. The Yuki Teikei Members Anthology in 2015 is this one, Lover in the Moonstone. And this Haibun is called Seventh Inning Stretch. While visiting my dad, 98, in the hospital, I showed him a newspaper obituary for Chi Akizuki, 92, a San Jose, Japan town stalwart, community sports leader, career U.S. postal worker, Japanese American semi-pro baseball star, Team Asahi, first American baseball team to tour Japan in 1921. Hart Mountain Relocation Center outstanding athlete, camp baseball team star, San Jose High School basketball and track star, and much more. Dad recognized the name immediately. Amidst his days of illness, drugs, hospital, disorientation, irritating catheters, beeping monitors, etc., a corner of his mind found memories of youth and strength. Seventh inning stretch. Seventh inning stretch, the steady warmth and orange glow. Seventh inning stretch, the steady warmth and orange glow of the vacuum tubes. Crack of the bat. Crack of the bat, the ephemerality. Crack of the bat, the ephemerality of persistence. I think everybody knows Bye Bye Baby, theme song of the San Francisco Giants in the old days. So I grew up in the 60s and 70s. So my formative baseball years coincided with a golden age of Giants baseball broadcasting. Russ Hodges and Lon Simmons called the games and added a friendly banter of color and humor to the radio and TV broadcasts of San Francisco Giants baseball. As a Little League player then, I remember coaches unloading bags of practice gear from their cars at school fields for practice, teammates in good times and bad, walking around in cleats, cotton uniforms getting dirt and grass stained, bubble gum, sunflower seeds, Chico sticks, and an assortment of snacks and candies at the concession stand, oiling up my glove, warming up with a weighted bat, playing catch or pepper, getting down on ground balls, and running hard to get under fly balls. But a further inspiration was the professionals, listening to games on transistor radios and imagining the play-by-play in our minds, waiting, anticipating the classic lines. If it was Russ Hodges telling us, it was "Bye bye baby." But Lon would announce, as the ball sailed out of sight, "You can tell it goodbye. You can tell it goodbye. Another legend falls. You can tell it goodbye. Another legend falls. Spring darkness." Lon Simmons passed in April 5, 2015. On the Saturday after February 5th, my dad's birthday, my sister Elaine and I organized a birthday party at Kiku Sushi in Cupertino. 3 dozen or so guests, all close family and friends, attended. After dinner, my cousin Calvin Abe produced a copy of an old photograph, probably from the late 1920s, of what appeared to be the Salinas Buddhist Church baseball team, all in uniform and lined up. Cal pointed out his dad, James Chick Abe, my dad's older brother, Michio Abe, who was team pitcher, manager, and nickname bestower, one of the Tanimura brothers, famous for their Salinas produce farms, now known as Tanamura Antle, and a few others. We questioned whether my dad was in the photo, but my dad confirmed that he was too young at the time to be included. After some identity confirmations and some I don't knows from my dad, we showed the photo to Cal's mom, Masu Abe, and my dad's younger sister, Mikiko Eto. Cal was sure they, as young girls at the time, had been nearby and probably eyeing the team for potential boyfriends. Sure enough, they pointed out and named a few more of the uniformed young men, although sometimes it was with just a nickname. Oh, okay, who's that tall guy? Oh, that's Brownie. Oh, that's Brownie. What was Brownie's name? Oh, that's Brownie. What was Brownie's name? We don't know. We just called him Brownie. Thank you.
Oh, okay, unmuted. Thank you, Roger. What we have now, and thank you, all three of you. I think we've given you kind of a survey of some of the possibilities, and there are many more. Haiku is traditional plus modern, and anything almost in between. There are certain things that are sort of standard, but there are people who break all those rules, as any artist will. What we want to do right now, though, is take you through just some fun writing exercise, a fun writing exercise. The teacher in me never lets students out of the classroom without doing some art themselves. And so we brought a haiku writing exercise. So while I'm bringing it up on the screen, grab a pencil and paper. And I'm going to take you through, all three of us will. We've allocated different readings, different slides for this. It's a short, and we'll give you a little bit of time, but we want to give you time to anybody who wants to share. So this is going to go fairly fast, and that means write quickly and don't let your inner critic step in and censor yourself. So here's the first step. While you're grabbing pencil, what we have is a set of words here that are like prompts. Treat them as prompts. The two columns to the right are a list of suggested prompts. You take each one in turn, jot down a short phrase that comes to mind. Work quickly. Don't edit or censor yourself, and write as many as you can. Try to get at least 3 or 4 so you have something to work with. But if you only get 3, that's fine. Here are some examples that we have. One of the words was sneeze. We have chant, rough, socks, sneeze, salesman, neighbor, forget, spill, grief, wish. Gee, none of those sound terribly poetic, but in haiku, we're talking about the ordinary moments of life. And here are examples from Roger. Sneeze. Don't sneeze your brains out. From Kathy, socks. Orange socks left in soft sand. And for me, the burnt scent of a stovetop spill. So I'll give you, let's see, we are got 20 minutes to go, and so I'm going to rush you a little bit. Just see if you can leave your censor behind, grab a pencil and paper, and jot down about 3 of these, whichever strike you quickly. Just write a short phrase. And we will give you, let's see, it's 5:39. How about 3 minutes? At 5:42, we'll move on. Okay, about 10 more seconds. Okay, and I'm going to move to the next slide now. And Kathy is going to do this one for you.
Okay, so now you have your phrases from the first slide that we had, the words that the phrases that match the words that were on the first slide. Now we're going to add what we call a season word. And a season word is something that calls to mind a season, a particular season. It can be anything. So we're going to take those words and take the phrases that you wrote from the previous slide and try to pair them up. You don't have to use all of them. One of them might be better than another. You can just look at the season words, and they are ripe apple, yellow leaves, pumpkin, end of summer vacation, ghost, migrating geese, harvest moon, first rain, first day of school, tarantula. You're going to try to pair them and then form them into a 3-line haiku. And here are some examples. Orange flip-flops left in soft sand, autumn ghost. You can see that ghost is there. I wrote that one and I didn't like the sock staying there, so I changed it to flip-flop. That's okay too. Once you get it started, then you can change words like that. Pumpkin soup, the scent of a bubbling stovetop spill. You can see that pumpkin is there and spill is there, but otherwise kind of rearranged. First rain, changes in the air. Don't sneeze your brains out. You can see that sneeze and first rain have been paired and then built into a haiku. So I think we'll give you some time to do that pairing and then adjust your wording a little bit to make a satisfying haiku.
Yeah, I have, let's see, yeah, okay. I have 5:44 now. And although we rushed you a little bit, I could, if you need me to go back, I can. Let's give you a few moments with this screen. We can go back to the previous screen if you feel you need to see the phrases again. But how about 5 minutes for this? So at 5:50, we'll offer anybody who has one the chance to unmute yourself and share. But there's more, but we can keep writing almost up to the end. We just have a little bit of a closure right at the end. But basically we have, let's say 13 more minutes to do this. So let's see what you can come up with. Spend some time with the phrases. Try some of those different season words that you'll notice that one is, there are variety, nature things, there's some animals, there's some people in there, all sorts of stuff, sky phenomena, the moon, and try different ones. If you have a phrase, just try different season words and see which one you feel makes the nicest haiku with it. And if you get one that you really like, pop up the raised hand. Let's see, what I should do is on my screen. Do you know how to find raised hand? Should I count my syllables as well? No, do not. Syllable counting adds a complication that if you're not accustomed to haiku writing, don't do it. And besides that, what we don't want is to pad with extra syllables. Just write free form. You will notice that what we did is that none of these are 575. So just have fun with it and make the nicest image you can. Thank you for that question. Oopsie. Sorry, what did I do there? Okay, sorry. I'm trying to figure out how I get to
You did it.
can somebody else handle the raised hand if I'm share screening to call on people if anybody raises a hand that they'd like to share?
Yes, I can do that.
Thank you very much.
See, we have a couple of raised hands.
Oh, good, good. Call on people. And because we are at 5:49 and we can just start letting the poems come in. Call on people in whichever order you like.
John Simmons.
Yes, go ahead, John.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I audible?
We can hear you.
Okay. Her socks. Has geese comment about
You're coming in a little choppy. How about put it in the chat as well?
I will.
Okay. And try again to recite the haiku. Oh, okay. Moving on then. Next, Kiyo Ishida.
So I just read it or should I put it in the chat?
You can read it and put it in the chat.
Okay. Out the car window, Best friends chant our favorite songs. My untied hair flying. Out the car window, best friends chant our favorite songs. My untied hair flying. Oh, yeah, I can put that in the chat too.
That's beautiful.
Yes, lovely.
Nice images.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for sharing.
We put a hand over our heart when we really like poems.
Next, Niboye. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
B-Boye, but yeah, close.
Biboye. Sorry. Biboye.
No worries. It's a colorful name. Harvest Moon, accepting fiascos out of your control. Harvest Moon, accepting fiascos out of your control.
Oh, lovely.
Nice pairing. Works very well.
Thank you.
Yeah, share that in the chat. Lovely. Thank you for sharing. Next, Allison.
Let's see here. This was fun. Tarantula. I kind of forget, sort of, his rough words. Tarantula. I kind of forget, sort of, his rough words.
Great.
Nice, Allison. I want to read, shall I read Nick Butterfield's, which is going by in the chat?
Sure,
Yes.
sure you can.
I forgot to look down. Ripe apples on the ground. Neighbors looking. Whoops. Yeah, know the feeling if you have an apple tree. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. Next, Tracy.
Hi. Spilled oil under stacked plates. First rain.
Yeah.
I'll put in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat. Let's see. John, let's see. I'm looking. I don't think your poem is in, so try to re-enter it.
Anyone else with a hand up that hasn't been called? I see, Allison, you have a hand up still. You have a second one?
I was putting them in the chat. Forgot to take my hand down, but I'll share one and then let's see the one I didn't put in the chat. Okay, here's one I didn't put in. Tonight's ghosts. The neighbors 3 a.m. chanting really sound like curses. Tonight's ghosts. The neighbors 3 a.m. chanting really sounds like ghosts.
Thank you.
Okay.
John didn't get to speak, to recite his. I'll do that for him. I hope I do it justice here. This is from John Simmons. A cat models her socks. Passing geese comment above. Catwalk marked by yellow leaves.
Okay. Thank you, John. And I see one by Tracy. Tracy, you want to read it?
Oh, yeah. Is my volume all the way down?
Okay. Yeah, I see it on your chat right now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Which one? Spilled oil under stacked plates. First rain. Spilled oil
under stacked plates, first rain.
Thank you. Thank you. Very nice. Yeah. Okay. Any others?
I see Marla Shannon. Go ahead, Marla. We can't hear you. Maybe put it in the chat and someone can recite it for you to the group. Okay. Wow, these haiku are coming in now. Allison, you had waved your hand a moment ago.
Well, I kept it up after her rain haiku. I don't remember her name, the poet. So my rain haiku is first rain. The Jehovah Witness vanishes with the light drops. First rain. The Jehovah Witness vanishes with the light drops.
Lovely. Kiyo, you want to read one from your mom?
Sure. First rain, absolving. Stove chimney, patchy grass. Redwood mulch. Sneeze sounds like a comet's tail.
Okay. All right. We have my watch says 5:58, so we have a couple more minutes, and then there are just 2 slides with and I'm prepared to pop my Yuki Teikei email address into the chat because I'm going to make you an offer to attend one of our meetings. So anybody else have a poem to share?
We can go a few minutes over.
Okay. Just let me know when you want me to put up these last 2 slides, okay? Okay, I see some interesting ones from Maria. Like that third one, Maria. You want to unmute and read your poems?
Is that Maria or Marla?
Oh, Marla, sorry. It's small on my screen, Marla. And we have another nice one from Tracy too.
Okay.
Marla says someone could read for her, microphone not on.
Okay. How about you, Linda?
Okay, here are Marla's 3. With a better life, first rain of autumn beckons. Wish a better life, first rain of autumn beckons. Okay. And then salesman sweats it out. A car like an old ripe apple. Okay. Tracy?
Yeah, sure. First day of school, wishes of silver, hammered into rings. First day of school, wishes of silver, hammered into rings.
Okay, and we have another from Nick. Nick, you want to try to read it? Or
Sure, I could do it. Thank you. End of winter. Forgotten socks in my trunk. Tears spill in time. End of winter. Forgotten socks in my trunk. Tears spill in time.
Okay, we're a little after 6 now, Robert. If you do we have any more sort of last call for somebody to share? Okay, we have let's see.
Biboye.
Biboya. You want to unmute and read it, Biboya?
Sure. First day of school. Unexpected outcomes within reality.
Mm.
First day of school. Unexpected outcomes within reality.
Oh, that first day of school can be really traumatic, can't it? Okay, nice. Okay. Okay, last call. I'm going to go to the next screen to, and so here what we didn't show is we have 3. Here is what Kathy and Roger and I wrote for these. Roger, you want to read yours, and then Kathy, and then I'll do mine?
Ghost train steam whistle. The salesman clutches his pacemaker. Who bit my ripe apple? He wished they would all go away.
Rough sagewort arms reach into blue sky. Taste of a ripe apple. Spilling my brain onto paper. First rain.
Roughing it in a power outage. The harvest moon. Wishing I'd said what I should have said. Ghost at the door. Okay, so this is what we wrote to those prompts. And let's see, what did I do to, okay, so just so you know where this exercise came from, we have, we publish books, and we will be at the Small Press Fair tomorrow in Kelly Park, in the History Park. This exercise has been adapted from a writing exercise in a wonderful book we put out called Zigzag of the Dragonfly by Patricia MacMillan. And if you would like to find out more about this book, we will have a copy or two at the Small Press Fair tomorrow if you're there. Otherwise, you can find ordering information if you're interested at our website, YTHS.org, which Robert put up top on the chat. And then finally, one last thing. Let's see if I can get the chat up. Hold on, because I want to put my own email in. Let's see. Okay. I put it in, but I'm going to have to put it in again, and I'll leave this up. We always welcome members to our meetings. When we did in-person meetings before the pandemic and before all this going to Zoom, and we still, sometimes members bring people, and we do welcome you, and all of you are invited. In fact, we have a meeting coming up on 14th September. There'll be another meeting in October. You can find our calendar on the website, but you're invited to come. And these next 2 September and October meetings will be remote on Zoom. And what you can do is, I am putting that email address. Let me make sure I spell it correctly. Okay, I've just put it in the chat, and copy it out if you would like to. Shoot me an email, and I will share the Zoom URL with you, and you are cordially invited to come. The meeting on the 14th will be our moon viewing. Moon is very important as an autumn Kigo and season word, and we're going to, people are writing some moon poems in advance, but I think we'll have a little bit of time to write and orally share as we are doing today. So if you're interested in getting deeper into haiku, you're invited. Okay. And with that, I think I will end. Ooh, how did I get out of this? I will end my share. Okay. And there we go. And so Roger and Kathy, any last thoughts?
No.
Oh. Well, maybe just to remind everybody that was just an exercise, and your best haiku will come from actual experience. So go live life and write whatever you want.
There you go. Okay. And thank you for everything, Robert.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you all for joining us today. Thank you for participating, Linda, Kathy, and Roger. Great to have you as part of the 10th Annual San Jose Poetry Festival. You can find them at the Small Press Fair tomorrow. And this program also can be found on YouTube. You can see the program and the exercises for reference. Remember to save your chat. And look forward to seeing y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.